Hey everybody, it's Chuck Barone on Friday, July the 5th, 2024. Hope everybody had a nice 4th of July. Lots of barbecue, fireworks, beer, families, everybody getting together, having a nice time. I got to say, it was kind of quiet over here at Prudence Court. We usually have a pretty big shindig, but the kids are grown now and no grandkids yet. So it's kind of was just they have their own thing. They're doing their own thing. So we just had kind of a chill night here, and it wasn't terrible. It was a nice day, nice evening. Now we get the benefit of the rest of this weekend off, so that's kind of cool. We'll take that. Although I gotta say, man, hard to watch the TV, read the newspaper, or any friggin' thing else, guys. It's really, really sad. I'm old enough to remember when this truly was a great country. I mean, a country where anybody, if they really, really wanted to work hard, do the things they had to do, could truly move up the ladder from poor to middle class, from middle class to upper middle class, even wealthy. A lot of people I know in my life have gotten very, very wealthy. Seems like that's all over now. And the political system here, I'm just watching all this stuff going on, makes my head want to explode. I mean, really, you, we have, in my opinion, sorry, I know a lot of you guys are Trump people. I know some of you guys are even Biden people. Can I just say, both of these guys are shit. Um, and this Biden thing, it's really sad. I mean, Biden's been in politics a long time. And like his policies or not, he's gotten some stuff done as president, like it or not. Some stuff he's neglected. Most people not liking that. Hello, border. But to watch him at that debate, and then to see they're trying to prep him. Well, he had a cold. He was, he got all this bullshit. I mean, it's gotten to the absurd now. Remember the Orwell line? The greatest leap, the final piece of the puzzle was you had to convince people to not even believe their own eyes and ears. I guess that's the stage of Orwellian nonsense we're at here, man. It is freaking mania. But anyway, enough about that crap, which has really got me feeling pretty sad these days. Let's talk about the markets today because we got some data today, and I got a beef with that jobs report today. But first, let's talk about markets. So, jobs report comes today. Jobs report shows 206,000 jobs. Okay, decent number, kind of what they were expecting. But the rest of the report was just absolute dog shit. But the stock market rallies anyway. NASDAQ and the S&P both at record levels. Why? Because the Fed now has more room to cut rates. Thank you, Joseph. Much appreciated, my friend. Now we got, guys, it just keeps getting worse. But anyway, the markets rally. So the stock markets today, the Dow rallies up 67 points, 39,375 on the Dow. The NASDAQ up 164 points, 18,352. The S&P up 30 points, 5,567. Rock and roll stock market. At the same time, the bond market rallies like crazy too. People buying bonds. I'm just wondering who. The 10-year down 8 basis points. Now remember, prices, when people are buying, the yield falls. Prices, they move like a teeter-totter, right? So yields down when people are buying. Today, the 10-year down 8 basis points. Now at 4.27. It was just at almost 4.5. The 2-year falls 9 basis points, 4.60. So now the inversion narrowing out again, and the bond market rallies. I just got to wonder what in the hell. How? So now, because of this jobs report, the market's changing. There's Donna. Market's changing. Kevin on today too. Nice. Hey, Attila, you're the man, brother. Thank you. So now the market's factoring in a 79% chance. 79% chance of a rate cut in September. Now, I got to say, the way this election's looking, it could very well be over by then. If the Democrats are going to push Biden on the public, I just don't see any way the public's going to elect this guy who can barely, it looks like he probably is not even tying his own shoes anymore. So the market rallying up. As a result of the rate cut thing, the dollar falls today, down 26 basis points, 104.88 on the index. Not a bad number, but we were looking like we were heading up toward barely over 106 for a minute there. Now it comes crashing right back down to earth as a result of a stronger dollar, which I've been telling you guys a million times. Weaker dollar, stronger gold, stronger dollar, weaker gold. Well, the dollar falls, gold rallies. Gold up $32.60. Nice little rally for gold. $2,389.60 for an ounce of gold. Nice to see a little bit of pop there, man. The gold was stuck at like $23.30, it seemed like forever. So nice to see that moving up. Silver rallies up another 69 cents today. Now $31.16. A very, very good move, technical move for silver. Bouncing back up off that number, and now looking stronger at $31. Now, of course, still has to hold this, right? And it's going to get tried again. But if it can hold that number and you keep going, looks like it might be time for a little bit of a rally in silver. Oil today falls 44 cents, still ridiculously high at $83.44. I've been reading, I've been searching, I've been looking everywhere I can look for signs that there's either a limited supply of oil coming or a big surge in demand coming. I did see that oil production in the U.S. has done a little bit, but still number one in the world. And there's no signs. I mean, the summer is coming, so I guess people do their road trips in the summer, but with the way people are cutting back on things, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit, I don't see people just going to be taking super long road trips this year. I just don't see that. So it doesn't look like there's going to be a big surge in demand. I still am of the belief that oil is a little bit too high at this price. Bitcoin falls today, $1,802. Bitcoin taking a shellacking. Last I saw, $56,495. It looks like Bitcoin, according to the charting I looked at, it looks like there's really very little support for Bitcoin between 60,000 and about 51,000 and change roughly. So it looks like Bitcoin going to go down and test that 51,000. We'll have to watch it and see where it goes. This is all within the technical charting of Bitcoin though. So this is not a big shock. When you make those super highs like it did, and you do it so quickly, a retest of all the support is natural in the way investing world works. So this is a natural phenomenon. We'll just see if it can hold its support next time like it did not hold at 60, right? All right, let's get on to this jobs report. I got to say, guys, something stinky in this report. Now, the Department of Labor says the United States added 206,000 jobs in June. Okay, good number, 206,000. The unemployment rate ticked up to 4.1%, which is the highest it's been since 2021. That's up from 4, so it's up just a 1 tick. Okay, that's not terrible either. So what stinks, guys? I'll tell you. The Department of Labor also redid their numbers for April and May and reduced those numbers by 111,000 jobs. Really? Okay. So if you're publishing these reports and they're off by 20 to 30% every single freaking month, what good are these reports, guys? Right? I mean, what in the hell is that shit? I think that maybe going forward, we just need to talk about these revised numbers and we can make a mention of the number they initially report, but it seems like the real numbers are in these revisions, and the revisions are always done very quietly on a Friday. It's just a bunch of bullshit, guys, okay? I think that, like I said, we need to just report on revised numbers. Now, this is the kind of thing. I always am shocked by the level of skepticism by the people watching this show, people that, on the comments, smoke and mirrors, there's Wolf. This is pretty much the way everybody feels about these reports. And this is why. How can you blame somebody? How can you look at somebody who's doubting these numbers when they get revised as dramatically as these numbers are being revised? Now, this is the kind of thing that destroys credibility in the financial markets, in the financial press, and in government in general, guys. Elevate. Tommy on the line. Hey, baby, how you doing? Anyway, crazy stuff, a bunch of bullshit. Now, do they just lie? I guess really the question is, do they just lie about everything now? They're going to tell us this old man we all watched could barely go down 2 steps, okay? They're going to tell us this guy's robust. It was just a little bit of a fluke. They're going to revise numbers down 20 to 30 to 35%. May was down. They've had to revise, or was it April? One or the other. They had to revise 35% miss on the number they reported. I mean, maybe this is why we're seeing voters blowing out governments all over the world, guys. Look at it. England, France, Germany. Look what Argentina did. You can see it coming here in the U.S. I think if there was a legitimate third party that people could get behind that had a legitimate chance of winning, I believe they would win. I just think people are sick of this whole dynamic of the two-party system now where bullshit A tells you this slate of lies, bullshit B tells you this slate of lies, and you're left to try to figure it out all by yourself with a lying media behind one or the other propping up their bullshit. Guys, this is what you see, the decay toward the end of an empire or civilization. When the representatives in our government are supposed to represent the people, not themselves, not their donors, not the corporations, and that is just out the frickin' window, man. So citizens, societies all over the world now blowing out the governments, trying the opposite. The problem with this is you take one party, kick them out. If you're a two-party system like we are, you put the other party in, you get just as much bullshit, just a different set of fucking problems, right? Seldom any different. Like, which party's telling the truth, guys? Who's telling the truth anywhere, in the government, in the media, anywhere, except maybe me. And the truth is only going by the information as I get it. And I give you my best assessment of the truth. But Jesus, man, this is a sad state of affairs we got here. And guys, this is going to get corrected one way or the other. Okay? Either we're going to elect a legitimate government that's going to finally turn around and serve the people, or there's going to be a revolution. And the revolution, now I don't know what form that's going to take. Okay, I'm not saying it's going to be a violent revolution. It could very well be a third-party revolution. It could be done a lot of different ways. But this is going to get corrected one way or the other, guys. People are sick of it, man. And I know I'm one of them. I'm sick of this bullshit. All right, moving on. Inflation pulverizing everybody. In this report today, we got the story on wages. Wages up 3.9% year over year. So that's basically pretty much where, I guess, inflation, depending on which index you're looking at, PCE, 2.6, CPI a little over 3%. We'll be getting inflation information next week. We'll see where that goes. But wages up 3.9% year over year. Guys, I was looking at this numbers. Listen to this, guys. Over the past, since the inflation started, accumulated inflation, groceries up 26%. This is still where we are, even though inflation's coming down, prices aren't, right? The groceries up 26%. Shelter, rent, mortgages up 18%. I'm telling you, that sounds that might be a slow developing number because I got a feeling they're up much higher than that. Energy prices up 38%. So we're talking gasoline, we're talking your power bill, you're talking your gas bill. Guys, no, this is unsustainable. Over 3 years, okay, over 3 years. So going back to 2021, it now takes more than $1,000 per month to pay the same bills you were paying back in 2021. $1,000 additional per month. Now, how many people are making $1,000 additional per month since 2021? I'm telling you, anybody in real estate isn't, especially mortgage realtors. At least they have listings, they can sustain themselves, right? But mortgage guys were dead meat. So these numbers, this here, guys, is why everybody's in such a terrible mood. And then when you add on lying scumbag douchebags telling us, oh, everything's great, don't worry, everything's transitory, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. The more they tell me don't worry, the more I want to worry. Horrible, horrible, horrible day with all this shit. Real estate. Well, guys, what are we seeing now? Supply rising, more people trying to list their homes. Anybody buying these houses? Nope, no demand. So now the question becomes, will there be a big correction in real estate? I was reading an analyst today that believes real estate prices will fall more than 30%. Well, that's a pretty big fall, guys, because the median price, let's just say 400,000, okay? You're going to go from 400, 30%, takes you down to 280,000. That would be a gigantic fall in home equity for U.S. people. Well, I guess that figures. They've taken everything else away from us. The only real wealth people seem to have anymore is the equity in their homes. I guess it's about time they blow that out too. But I was telling you guys, high rates, high prices, can't have both in real estate. They've worn out the investors, the institutions. They're not buying houses like they were. They see this correction coming. They've shut first-time buyers out of the market. They can't buy. The only real transactions going on are people who are transient or moving from one state to another. They'll sell this house in Nevada. They'll buy the house in Texas or wherever, or they'll sell in California and buy in Nevada, whatever it is. That's the only thing that's really happening. The only people that can buy houses these days are people that have one to sell with some significant equity in it. Other than that, you get a payment of $2,500, $3,000 a month, which is only going to start when these prices start to fall and rates start to fall with them, which they will. People are going to be underwater again. They're not going to be able to refi to these low rates. They're going to get stuck with 7. Rates could fall to 5%, but if you don't have the equity to refi, you're dead meat. So we're seeing an instant replay of what happened 15 years ago, where people are going to be underwater in their properties. You're going to see foreclosures start to jump. You're already seeing them higher already. Just crazy, guys. Terrible. So real estate soon to correct, starting now. The Fed now has room to start cutting rates. You can see the economy really starting, the wheels are coming off. Inflation numbers, at least the numbers we're getting, which are dubious to say the best for them, coming down. So now the Fed has chance to cut rates. The question is, will they? Will they? I really believe that if they're going to cut rates early, before I've been predicting all along, the only rate cut we get this year is in December. If they're going to do it, I doubt it's going to be in July. It's most likely going to be in September. The question is going to be, what is the state of the politics in this country? Does the Fed dare to cut rates in the middle of an election campaign? I guess I got to question that, right? I was reading this survey today done by Transamerica Corp, more than 1,000 middle-class people. 66% of the people polled said they are now under economic stress. They've either had to pare down their budgets. They're not able to afford going out to eat or the extras normally people have. It's a disaster, guys. The middle class really suffering. 80% of the people polled said they're cutting out dining out. I haven't really seen any evidence of that. Whenever I go to restaurants, they seem to be pretty busy. But if this is the start of this trend, expect to see restaurants starting to lower their prices, offering different specials. People are filling the void. Remember, I was saying 1,000 extra per month just to pay the same bills, the same expenses. So people filling in the gap with credit cards. We already see credit card debt starting to skyrocket. We're over $1 trillion frickin' dollars in credit card debt, and people aren't saving any money. Savings rate just continuing to go down. Anyway, so there's my wonderful report today, guys. A horrible frickin' day and a horrible report, but it is what it is, man. We'll be back on Monday to bring you the news you need. Everybody get out there and have a great weekend. Forget this report, right? And let's try to get away from the weirdness of the world. Stay away from politics. Get yourself out if you can, man. It's 100. They're predicting 118 degrees here in Vegas on Monday, which would be a new world record. They're predicting 134 degrees in Death Valley, the hottest temperature ever recorded on Earth. 134. Could you imagine? Holy shit. So if you get a chance to get out, do it. If not, great indoors. Enjoy the weekend. We're 1 week closer to NFL. I need NFL. You guys are cool. I appreciate everybody on the chat today, everybody tuning in. Please hit the thumbs up, guys. It gives us a chance to get the video out in front of more people. By the way, I apologize for Wednesday. It's a long story. I'll talk about it a little bit next week. In the meantime, have a great weekend, everybody. We really appreciate your support. We'll be back on Monday to bring you the news you need. Until then, everybody, take care. Thanks.